Hey guys, Ed over here at FICM Repair. So this gentleman says, hey, I'm wanting to run the 205/30 injectors. What upgrades would I need to run them? None. Wait, what? None? You just run 205? Yes, none. So the reason why the story is more complicated than this, though, of course it is, right? And I'm going to get some pushback from this from some folks, I'm sure. But listen, if you need injectors, I want to sell you injectors just one time. I don't want to sell you injectors 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12 times. One time is good. So a 205/30, all that really matters actually is that the 30 is what matters. What is the amount of fuel sprayed into the combustion chamber as at an instant in time? The 30 over nozzle regulates that. So perfect. We got no issues here. So now what about the 205? Well, just because the injector's hanging on to 205 cc's of fuel doesn't mean it needs to spray 205 cc's of fuel. So you can dummy a 205/30 down to run essentially like a 155/30, which doesn't require any mods at all. So you don't need the fast 140. You don't need the driven diesel ready to return with the fuel bowl delete. You don't need the sump from fast. You don't need the transmission solenoids to support the extra power if you got an automatic. You don't need the ported exhaust manifolds from BD. You don't need the O-Dogs intake. You don't need the stage 2 Jetfire KC turbo. You don't need the Banks intercooler. You don't need the no limit cold air intake. Now, if you want to have the heck, you don't even need, diesel sites, dummy plugs and standpipes or HHC's nipple cups and their corresponding O-rings. All you need is custom tuning to dummy those injectors down to something else. So it allows you to build into your build over time. So that way you buy the 205/30s, you drop them in, we write you some custom software that goes ahead and hops onto your SCT device to dummy them down to work like 155/30s or thereabouts. And then later on, when you've got the money for the, say, beefed up tranny, which by the way you should do when you watch my other video on that, like seriously, even if it's a stock truck, please install those solenoids. I sell transmissions, I don't want to have to sell you one. But when you've got the money to go ahead and do the supporting mods, whatever those mods are, whether all of them or some of them, then we can work with you to figure out, okay, yes, driving these up to like a 175 would make sense now, or to a 190 or whatever. Like, your stock fuel pump from Ford, it can support a 175/30 if the pump is in impeccable condition. But let's find out by hooking you up with like an Edge Insight CTS3 with fuel pressure monitoring, and that way So monitoring is everything, but recognize that the world is your oyster, right? And so the number one complaint that we hear from people who choose like a 155/30, which is why I'm just such not a fan, is all the time, man, I wish I'd gone bigger, I wish I'd gone bigger, I wish I'd gone bigger. Even guys are like, hey, Ed, you don't understand. I'm a 70-year-old dude. I'm a 75-year-old dude, 80 years old. I don't just see myself wanting that much power. I'll get the 155. And then they get a 155 properly tuned, and they're like, oh, hey, can I get more? Yeah, if we sell you bigger injectors, don't you want to avoid that expense? Just buy the bigger ones and be done. And that way, you're set up for the future, and you only have to buy injectors from us one time. Do we have our favorites on all these providers? We totally do. Why? Because we've been doing this for 15 years. We can make sure that you're doing it once, doing it right, and moving on, and not spending money only to spend money again, And if you're going to do injectors, by the way, watch my other video on how to prime the high-pressure oil system. That way you don't have to become my customer for the FICM. If you do fry your FICM because you didn't watch the video, you're just too stubborn or whatever, I know a guy, but I'd rather save you the money. Okay? So FICMRepair.com, great question. We're all in this together. Appreciate you guys. Absolutely everything mentioned in this video is for sale on our website at prices that haven't been beat in 15 years. We price match for 30 days after the sale. The benefit of going through a distributor instead of going direct is you're not just a number. We give these guys enough money to put their kids through college, right? The last thing any of them want to do is irritate a distributor. It's just human nature. So we can make sure that everything works with everything else. There is no finger pointing expedition, nothing, and we can make sure that you're taken care of properly. Okay? Thanks very much. Seriously do. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys. Take care.